Well, welcome everyone. My name is Hannah. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions in our office. I cover the DMV region and some West Coast. I want to start by congratulating everyone here and your students. If you haven't heard congratulations from us yet on your acceptance, now's a great time to do it. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's a great accomplishment. We're going to do a little session on being undecided and finding your path at HWS through mentorship. So my colleague Susan will kind of kick that off. But if you have any questions during the session or after, we can put our emails in the chat, but feel free to send us a question in the chat or kind of chime in. We're a small group. So feel free to ask if you're brave enough to put those questions on and out there. Without further ado, I'll kick it over to Susan to
Thank you
introduce
so
ourselves and get
much.
us started.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you all. And thank you so much for putting your cameras on. Sometimes when I do these and they're blank screens, I feel like I'm talking into the abyss. So I'm glad to be talking to faces. I am Susan Pleiner. I have been at Hobart and William Smith since 2006 when I came from the Massachusetts um, to work at HWS. And I think probably you'll hear in my energy and excitement, I love this place. I never expected to love this place as much as I love this place, but I'll tell you a little bit why. I'm a faculty member and an administrator. So I'm an associate provost. That's my primary job. I work in the provost office. That's the chief academic officer, the provost. And I am responsible, just to let you know a little bit, I'm responsible for a lot of things, but primary things that might interest you is I'm responsible for the first year academic experience. So your first year seminar program and your onboarding as first year students. So if you have questions about that, I'm actually the person that answers those. Um, I am also the dean of the graduate program, so I manage all of our graduate programs and the faculty in those. I have a whole bunch of other things. I teach in the Masters in Higher Education and Leadership program. I teach in the Masters in Science and Management. Right now, I'm teaching a business communication course for them. And I oftentimes teach first year seminars too. So I'm an administrator who teaches, I'm on faculty. I'm going to talk to you about being undecided because as a faculty member and as a first year seminar faculty member, I'm an advisor. As a matter of fact, we're in the middle of advising period right now for selecting courses for the fall for our rising, well, everybody that's rising, but because I taught a first year seminar this fall, I am I am advising my students who are rising sophomores. So their first years this year. And so I'm getting to talk to all of them about what they're interested in and their courses. So I'm going to talk for a little bit and then I'm going to open it up for questions because I'm sure you have lots of questions. Here's what I'm going to say. Some people, a very small population of people, really know and have known from an early age what their passion is and what they want to do. Very small population. Then there's a whole large population of students that come in their first year that think they know what they want to do and say they know what they want to do. And mostly because people have been asking them since their sophomore year, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? And you got to come up with something. I told everybody I was going to be a business major. I am not. I never was. Well, I started, but I never finished a business degree because it wasn't really what I wanted. And then there's a population that say, I have no idea. I'm going to explore everything, right? So I'm really talking to everybody from I think I know to I have no idea, right? Because if you choose us, if you have already chosen us, great. I can't wait to meet you on campus. If you're still thinking about it, this is a liberal arts college. And in the liberal arts, one of the things that we are really passionate about is both breadth and depth, right? So, as a person who is liberally educated, it means that you are able to understand ideas and concepts, think critically, no matter what you're faced with, no matter what discipline. So, our expectation is that you're going to explore a lot of different areas of study, a lot of different disciplines. High schools have a kind of K-12 have kind of a set curriculum. And even though you have electives, that's still only a narrow capacity for what's really out there to study. And so when you get to college, there's such a wide variety of disciplines and subject matters that you haven't even thought about. And that's my job as an advisor, is to help you think about what those possibilities are. And so I love working with folks that are undecided, because it means that in our advising, I get to ask you questions about, like, what books have you read that you really have loved, or what subject did you study, or did you see a movie that really stood out to you, or what do you do in your time outside of your academic? So I really get to know all my students, so that when we're talking about courses, I can say, you know what? I think you might like taking a course in religious studies. It's not religion, it's religious studies. And let me tell you a little bit about that, right? So I'm really making recommendations and suggestions based on who you are, what your interests are. So like right now, my students, my first year students, are in their second semester of their first year. So they've taken a full course load in the fall semester, and they're more than halfway through their second semester. So I'm asking them, what are you studying? What do you like? Um, what are your professors like? What kinds of questions are you coming up with? And then I get to help them think about the classes they might want to take in the spring semester. So our goal is for you to um, explore across the disciplines. And it isn't until your sophomore year in your spring semester, so your fourth semester, that we ask you to declare a major. So you really have 4 semesters to really explore before you have to say, you know what? This is where I want to go deep. And you can decide as early as your second semester. You can decide in your third semester, but by your fourth semester, we ask you to decide so that you can focus your attention in a major that will take you in a depth while you're still also exploring other courses. And that's the way our curriculum is set up. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing, nothing wrong with it. It's actually a gift in a lot of ways, because it doesn't confine you to thinking that you have to, I'm going to be X when I graduate. I'm going to go do this. So the only courses I want to take are the courses that are going to fit for this thing that I think I'm going to do. And that's great. And if that's where you are, that's great. I'll help you to get there. But also, and all of our faculty will, but also it sometimes it confines you, right? It confines you in thinking that there's only one path that you can take, while there's lots of little pathlets that will lead you in different areas that might open up a whole new world to you. And that's what we're here for. So I'm going to stop, because I mean, I could really talk about this forever, but I know we have another 15 minutes. I really want to hear from you. What questions do you have? What are you thinking about? And it can be about your academics. It can be about anything. You can just unmute too, or put it in the chat if you don't want to speak.
I have a
No one has.
question, Susan. Could you explain more about the first year seminar process and what things we do in those courses to allow students to try different subjects?
Sure. Okay, so once you enroll with us, once you deposit, you get your credentials, your HWS credentials. So as soon as you deposit, you are an HWS student. You get your HWS email, and then you get access to our onboarding portal, which is in Slate, just the same, basically the same way you applied for applied for here. And that opens up a whole world of selection for you. So, Hannah, while I'm talking, can you pull up the first year experience website and give the link? So you will first choose your first year seminar, and there are currently 36 FSEMs, first year seminars, we call them FSEMs, for you to choose from. And they're all on this first year experience website, so you can read all of them. And we're going to ask you to choose four. And then after you've chosen four, we're going to ask you to choose another four. So you're actually saying these top four are things that I'd be interested in exploring. And if I don't get one of those top four, these bottom four. I think we were like 98% everybody last year got in their top four. No guarantees, but that's what our goal is. We place you all in those. So I actually do that. And your first year seminar is a small seminar, anywhere from 12 to 16 students with a faculty member. It is a faculty member's kind of passion project. So it's not an introductory level course in any discipline. It is a first year seminar. So faculty get to teach about a subject matter that they're interested in, while also embedded in the course are supports for transition to college. So there's a first year mentor that's associated with the class. It's a writing process based course. So it's writing over a process. So like assignments there'll be multiple steps to your assignments and you'll get feedbacks all the way through. So it's a writing based course, and a content course. It's a full credit course and it's a graduation requirement. And your first year seminar faculty member is your advisor until you declare a major. So I taught a first year seminar in the fall, American medicine. And all 16 students in that class are my advisees until they declare a major. And so that's why I'm advising them all this semester as well, and I will next year as well. So your first year seminar is a course that you start during orientation. Your first week of class is during orientation, just to get you started early. And you'll meet with your first year mentor as well and start to do some work during that. And then we end it on the last day of classes. So you're only in your first semester dealing with 3 finals instead of 4 during your first semester. Our courses are 4 credits each. And because they're 4 credits, you only take 4 courses a semester. Rather than a lot of places, their credits are 3 credits, and so they take 5 courses. So ours are 16 credit semesters, basically, but they're 4. So that's what the first year seminar is. On that first year experience that Hannah put on there, is also you can see our Sparks. That's a specialized opportunity during orientation. Everybody does a Spark, all first years. And so that's an interest area. So what we're trying to do is you'll meet with your first year seminar, that'll be academic, but you'll also meet with a group of people that share a particular interest with you. And that's also led by faculty and staff. It's a 2-day kind of adventure. Some of it's adventure. One's ice cream, dairy and ice cream in the Finger Lakes. So you go around to all the local ice cream. You learn about ice cream making. You go to dairy farms. Some friends of mine did one a couple of years ago on fiber arts and knitting, but they went to an alpaca farm and learned about the alpacas and met the alpacas and then got wool and they all learned to knit and they all made hats. But it's community building. So what we're trying to do is build circles for you of connection. So you'll have your residents, the people on your residence floor, your hall. You'll have your first year seminar. You'll have your Spark people, and that will be all gathered in your first 4 days on campus. So 4 or 5 days on campus. Okay, are there other questions? Yes, Krista. So there are general education requirements. And I mean, we don't call them general education requirements, we call them aspirational goals. Right now, there are goals that you take. First year seminar is one, so you take a first year seminar your first semester, so that is a graduation requirement, gen ed goal. There's goals on scientific inquiry, quantitative reasoning, ethical reasoning, culture and social, and artistic expression. So basically, I mean, I met with a student today who has fulfilled all of her goals but one in her first year just by the nature of taking courses. So it's not like you don't, it's not like you have to take math, art, English, and a science class in your first semester. There's lots of ways to fulfill all of those goals. So quantitative reasoning can be fulfilled within the major. If you're going to be a sociology major, you're going to have to take statistics. You're going to have to take statistics in psychology. You're going to have to take statistics in science, right? So your quantitative reasoning goal, depending on what degree you're getting, you're fulfilling goals within that degree anyway. So yes, we have goals to accomplish, but it's not a general ed like everybody has to complete their gen ed requirements in the first 2 years. That's not how we work it. But you work with your advisor. Like I might say to a student, like I did today, um, what are you thinking about as a major? I'm still not sure, but I'm really loving my sociology. And I was like, great. Well, you have quantitative reasoning and artistic expression left on your goals. You've already got 3 classes that you want to take. Let's look at like a dance, introduction to Jamaican dance class. And the response was, I'm not a good dancer. And I go, well, that's why you're in college to learn, right? Like that's why we take classes to learn. So, the quantitative reasoning goal will be fulfilled if she becomes a social major. So those are the kinds of advising discussions that we have. Great question, Krista. Any other questions?
Hi, does your Spark choice have to relate to your FSEM choice or no?
No, 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 no.
No.
They're not interconnected at all, right? So one is academic, right? So your FSEM choices are academic. Those are going to be full semester courses. Your
Okay.
Spark is a 2-day orientation experience. So,
Okay.
like, if you want to eat ice cream, do that. If you want to learn how to fish, do the fishing one and go out with Ben Risto, who's a writing and rhetoric professor. He does
Okay.
fishing, right? So,
Yeah.
so it's faculty and staff, and you can see all the sparks on there as well.
Mhm.
Um, Last year there was one on mural painting, and if you haven't been to campus, you should come to campus for the admitted student days. But if you did come to campus, you might have noticed that on the entrance to our library, there's a whole mural of butterflies painted in the entryway into our library. That was last fall's spark. They constructed it, they painted it on, I guess, plywood. And then our buildings and grounds installed it before the semester started. It's really
Okay.
awesome. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So just an interest, Nigel, just interest based.
Okay.
And the goal is that you'll meet other people that have other students that have some similar interests as you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Other questions? Sorry, I've been homesick with a chest cold all week. I'm a little froggy. What's burning? What do you want to know? Like, what are your concerns? You literally can ask me anything.
I have one more.
Wait,
Go ahead.
one more quick question. When Nigel
You do
forwarded
it.
me the link and it said undecided, we didn't realize it meant undecided in your major. We thought it meant
Oh,
undecided about Hobart. So we
oh, okay.
discovered that when you first started talking.
Okay.
But I mean, it's always been a top choice. We've compared other schools to it, but we're
Yeah.
still not sure yet. And I'm not exactly sure how to make that
Yeah.
decision.
That's that I will listen, I'm a mother of a college student right now, so I was in your place. She's a sophomore, so I was in your place 2 years ago, and it was April, and we were doing the tours around, and I was like, what is happening? And I've spent my career in higher education, so I was like, why is this so hard, right? So I mean, the only thing I can say to you is, Nigel, you've got to trust your gut. You've got to, if you haven't been to admitted student days on those campus, if you can, I would try to do that. You get a feel for a place. You
Right.
get a feel for the people at that place. Um, you know, I, you know, I would say for somebody who's worked at multitude of higher education, I've worked at Brown University, I've worked at Mount Holyoke, I've worked at Columbia University, I've worked here, I've worked at UMass Amherst. You, I've taught at Holyoke Community College. You can get a good education no matter where you go if that's what you want. So you've
Right.
got to think about what are the kinds, where is there a place that I feel like I could belong? And this is what I told my own daughter. I want you to find a place where you feel comfortable, but not too comfortable. I don't want you to feel like it's a place where you can't grow, because that's the whole point. It's 4 years for you to be yourself, but also to become yourself. So,
Mhm.
um, I don't know if that's helpful. That's a
It
parenting
is.
thing.
Yes.
So, I hope I didn't overstep with that, but it is a
Mhm.
hard choice. You're not alone. Um, you're not alone. It's a hard choice, but here's what I'm going to say to you. Um, what I said to my daughter is no decision you ever make is a final decision, we hope,
Mhm.
right? But any decision you make, you have to give it your 100%. So, but it's just a choice like any other choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
A road taken.
And
Um, you're welcome. I remember the moment. I have compassion for you all. Um, okay, so for the AP, I'm reading the question. So how do you go about getting AP or dual college credits reviewed to see if they are accepted? And can they be used towards a major or minor? Okay, so couple things. Um, Krista, do you have is it an associate's degree or is it just AP and dual credits?
Sorry. It's just some are dual credits that she's taken in high school, and then she'll have AP exam credits
Right.
pending the scores in May.
Great, perfect. Okay, so we accept for transfer credits 7 courses. Well, seven transfer courses, seven transfer credits. So we'll take APs and AP scores. So what she'll do is she will contact AP and ask them to send her AP scores to our registrar at hws.edu. We get those scores and then they get added to her academic record, depending on her scores. Whether they will count towards a major or minor depends on what they are, what the courses are, and our registrar evaluates that as well. So if she took courses at dual enrolled courses, the College of Record has to send a transcript to the registrar at HWS, and they will evaluate those as well. And then the department does. So, like, some of our departments will say if you took AP Psych and you got a 4 or a 5, you do not have to take Psych 100. You can take the next level of Psych. Okay, so um, others will accept the credit, the APs um, for course credit, but you still have to follow our course sequence because um, high school calc is different than college calc. And we want to make sure that we prepare you for what's coming after that. So, but you will get course credit for it. So we take 7 in transfer credits, and AP and the institution, you just need to have the transcript sent, and they will get reviewed by our registrar, and they will be added to their PeopleSoft account, so their academic record. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Folks have any other questions for me?
I'm driving, but not looking at you.
That's okay.
My question is this: could you speak a little bit about the integration of academic advising, career advising, and maybe like student life engagement advising, and where the resources might overlap or be different?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So we have a really great career center, and we have this Pathways program. It's a 4-year program. So we like to get our students involved and invested in their first year in the process in career services. So we get them in, we get them meeting with our career counselors. If they're not sure what they want to do, we can do some of those assessments. We have guaranteed internships as part of career services. And what that means is paid internships. So you can get a paid internship while you're a student if you go through our Pathways program. So if you get involved with career services and you do our Pathway program, you can apply for a guaranteed paid internship. So let's say you want to do an internship in New York City and it's a paid internship, but it's $18 an hour and you can't live in New York City on $18 an hour for a summer, you can apply for your guaranteed internship and we'll give you the money, I think it's $3,000 for the summer so that you can live and do that internship. Or if you're doing a nonprofit and it's an unpaid internship. So our career services, we have a whole host of career counselors. Our career services tries to get into every first year seminar to talk with our first year students. So that as a faculty member, I brought in career services and they talk about the pathways. They talk about why you want to get involved. They show them how to use Handshake for getting jobs on campus and getting jobs in the community. Our campus life and student life resources are the same. We have a campus life and student engagement. But I think the thing that I would say is like we have a comprehensive, like any other institution, we have a comprehensive resources. But I think one of the things that we have that I feel is different from any other place that I've ever been in is our staff that actually operate all of those resources. They're also advisors. I mean, they're not assigned advisors, but all of us think about our work as advising and mentoring. We're all doing it all the time. And so we're interconnecting, like the conversations I'm having now with students about their academics. I'm also saying, what are you involved in on campus? Have you thought about joining this club? Let me connect you with this person, and they, because I think you'd make a really great tutor. And our Boys and Girls Club, you can be involved in community service and make some money, but also do service in our community by tutoring in our Boys and Girls Club. So we're all interconnected. I mean, it's the beauty of being in a small liberal arts. We all know each other and we're all interconnected. And if there's something I don't know, I pick up the phone and I call the person that I know in the next office and we're connected. So we have full staffs in all those. We have campus life, student engagement. We have a full res life staff, counseling center staff. We have a health center staff. Our health center staff is connected to Finger Lakes Health. So we're connected to our local health system and the doctors in that health system as well. I don't know if that answers your question, but I would say the resources are all here and we're all interconnected and we're all connecting our students to what they're interested in or might potentially be interested in. I'm seeing that there's another one. I think these are all coming. Oh, nope. Directly to me. I'm not sure why. No, there's no other questions that I can see on here. Does anybody else have anything for me?
Yeah. I was wondering if there's any courses, just like when I was thinking about picking courses, that like are super cool, and that were just like good to take. Um,
Oh my God, Sky, there's awesome courses. Like, especially when you say super cool. So like, here's what's going to happen when you when you choose your first year seminars, we're going to place you in a first year seminar by May. So you will know, you'll get a letter from your faculty member in May, written to you about the course and about advising and about your first year mentor that's associated with your course. You will meet with your first year seminar faculty member in June. I think the advising dates are the 9th through the 20th, and there'll be a schedule, and you'll just sign up for a time. You'll meet one-on-one with your faculty member in June, and you will pick your courses. You will pick a series of 10 courses, and of those courses, we'll put you in 3 of them. So, and then you'll get your schedule in July. So you'll get an opportunity to talk with your advisor. And so when you say something like, are there really cool courses? Your advisor is going to ask you, okay, what's cool to you? Like what's cool? Because I know it's cool to me, but what's cool to you? And then they'll help you to see what's out there for the courses. Once our registration is done on our website, you'll be able to see the list of all courses that are available for first year students. So there'll be a whole listing up there with course descriptions, et cetera. It'll be on that first year experience website we put up. Okay, so you'll start to look at that before you meet with your advisor. So then you can say, this sounded really cool to me. I read the description. What do you think about this? Okay, and then you can choose that course. All right, awesome. I will say that I wish I could go back to college to take some of the courses that I read about.
I went here and I want to do it all over again. I didn't take enough of them over the 4 years.
I know you think it's 4 years, it's a lot of time, and then you're like, what? It's not enough time. All right, well, listen, if there's no more questions, I know this will go to 7:30, so we're a little bit over, and I don't want to keep folks from their evening. But Hannah just put both of our emails in the chat. Feel free to email any one of us, and I hope we'll see you at Admitted Student Days if you haven't been able to come yet.
Yeah, we have 2 left on April 12th and April 26th. On Friday evening before, we host a wonderful reception at President Guerin's house with his wife, Mary. So you're all welcome to join us at that. And then we do a little Friday student-only fun session after President Guerin's house with snacks, games, a nice chance for students to mingle with one another. So we hope to see you all there if you haven't come already. But I hope everyone has a great, wonderful rest of their night. And if you have any questions, feel free to email either myself or Susan. So thank you all.
Nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a great night.